Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now.
Hello, I'm Tucker Wissink, and these are your 12:10 sports headlines on The Crow. The WHL draft was last night, and here's what happened. The Kelowna Rockets selected Madden Deneau, a forward from Lethbridge, Alberta. Deneau looks like the next big thing in the WHL, and the Kelowna Rockets will be must-watch for seasons to come. The Vancouver Giants held the second overall pick until they traded down with Wenatchee. The Giants traded the second overall pick for the third overall pick, 2 second-round picks, and a first in 2030. Vancouver selected defenseman Eli Vickers from the Delta Hockey Academy in Delta, BC. Vancouver also had the fourth overall pick, where they chose Brandon Jugna, a forward from the U18 Okanagan Rockets in Kelowna, BC. Former Giant and Dallas Stars prospect Cameron Schmidt was traded to Victoria at the draft as well. The draft will continue today. Speaking of the WHL, Game 1 of the finals goes Friday night in Everett, between the Silvertips and the Prince Albert Raiders. Braden Coots, the Canucks' first-round pick in the 2025 draft, leads the Raiders to their first final since 2019, where they beat the Vancouver Giants. The Everett Silvertips, led by Landon DuPont, the defenseman, is the favorite to go number 1 overall in 2027. In the NHL tonight, the Flyers look to get back in the series as Game 3 sets in Philly. The Canes have won all 6 games this playoffs, led by a line of Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, and Jackson Blake. The Flyers have now dropped 3 straight road playoff games, and they look to turn the tide at home. Puck drop is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The other game is between the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild. The Avs are undefeated so far and hold a 2-0 series lead, with a 9-6 Game 1 win and a 5-2 win in Game 2. The Wild are looking to win Game 3 to buy some more time. The Wild will need more from their goaltending if they want a chance to come back in this series. And Canucks center Max Sassone will join Team USA for the World Championship. The center had a career-high 13 goals and 19 points. The World Championships will be held in Switzerland later this month. Here are your current MLB scores today. The Yankees led the Rangers 5-2. The Twins trail the Nationals 5-3. Cleveland is up 3-0 on Kansas City, and the Cubs and the Reds are currently scoreless. Max Scherzer has been on the injured list since April 27th with a forearm and ankle injury. Scherzer has said his ankle is feeling better, but his forearm is the reason he's still not back with the team. The Jays have already lost Cody Ponce to the IL and Jose Barrios, testing the depth of the starting pitching. A media legend is being remembered today. Ted Turner was the founder of CNN and the former owner of the Atlanta Braves and former Atlanta Thrashers. He passed away yesterday at 87. Gethin Kuba has more.
Ted Turner was a sportsman of all types, a world champion in sailing and a World Series winning owner in baseball. The visionary media mogul bought the struggling Atlanta Braves in the 1970s, broadcast their games nationwide, and turned them into a World Series mainstay by the 90s. Turner also owned the NBA's Atlanta Hawks and the NHL's Atlanta Thrashers. He founded the Goodwill Games, inspired by Olympic boycotts, bringing together athletes from around the world. Turner's larger-than-life personality and innovative approach set a model for modern sports owners, making him a unique figure in sports and media history. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
There will be no Triple Crown this year in the world of horse racing. Dave Parker of ABC has more.
Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo will not run in the Preakness Stakes next weekend, instead focusing on the Belmont. It's the third Derby winner in the past 5 years not to be entered in the Preakness. The 2-week turnaround from the Derby to the Preakness, which used to be commonplace, is considered a non-starter for many trainers and owners, given that most elite thoroughbreds now typically go a month or more between races. It has Maryland racing officials considering moving the Preakness back from the third Saturday in May to the 4th. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Thanks for listening to your sports headlines on The Crow at 12:10. I'm Tucker Wissink.
tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow. This is 1680 The Crow, and you're listening to our feature presentation.
The Vancouver Auto Show, a place where thousands of car lovers come to immerse themselves in the automotive landscape. They all have one thing in common, an extreme passion for their favorite cars. Izzy Morgan spoke with two people involved in the auto show.
We are currently on planet Earth in Vancouver at the Vancouver Convention Center at the 2026 Vancouver International Auto Show. I've always been a tinkerer of cars. I've done that my whole life. I have been with the auto show for the last 4 years.
Eric Nickel has been a car lover for as long as he can remember.
If I would have to go back, what sparked my interest in cars? We go way back to me being a toddler, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and building models. You know, got to throw the credit due. The Corvette was always one of those, but even things from the Ford Mustang or the Hummers, the Camaros, it was just that fascination with mobility and seeing something get built from the ground up. And then, of course, that gravitates to being in high school and your first car and making it your own and special and unique and different. Everything from paint and performance to suspension, exhaust, rims. My first car was a 1985 Chevrolet Blazer. It had the 2.6 V8 engine, and my dad and I built that thing. He bought it brand new. When I turned 16, I just kind of absorbed that from him, and he and I worked together. We stripped it down, lowered it, put a fresh set of rims on it, a beautiful, beautiful flake blue paint, redid the interior. It was a good time, and it was also an amazing opportunity for me to build that relationship with my dad. There is something about cars and the building and the sharing, taking something that was, call it factory or stock, and improving it, whether it's for horsepower, looks, and performance. You go through that process with a person, whether it's a friend or a family member, and it just builds that special bond. So there's that connection between automotive, performance, friendships, family. And I would absolutely say that my first experience rebuilding a vehicle that was also in my family prior definitely has a lasting impression with me and my dad. I had that car since when I was 16 until I was 20. And then we sold it, and I was crushed. I was devastated. It brought a little bit of a tear to my eye. My dad was probably happy to let it go. He was done helping me fix it with a couple of head gaskets, this and that, but it was definitely a good time building it with my dad.
The Vancouver Auto Show sees over 100,000 visitors each year, including vendors, potential buyers, and people who just love cars. Jeff Chamberlain is a longtime member of the Porsche Club of America. He speaks about getting his first vehicle and when his love for cars first began.
I was probably 17. It was a 1974 Super Beetle, orange and red with a tan interior. Had about 60 horsepower and couldn't accelerate up hills, but it was a lot of fun. I probably started when I was like 8, and I got my first Hot Wheels cars for Christmas, that kind of thing, and I got a nice electric slot car track around the same time, so I was into cars way back when.
Chamberlain is the proud owner of his dream car, a gray 2011 Porsche Boxster Spyder worth up to $100,000.
So I have this Porsche as well as a SUV from Porsche as well. Both are really enjoyable. The SUV is the daily car. This is the weekend go for a rip car. I first saw one of these in 2011 in the McDonald's parking lot out near my home. And I had to stop, take a picture, and find out what that thing was. And that model, I found some pictures online. That was on the background of my computer for years, until I finally found one that I could get my hands on.
Driving such a nice car is about the journey just as much, if not more, than the destination. You can drive a Porsche wherever you want, but there are components that make some trips nicer than others.
I personally like this one just to take out for a drive. It's fantastic to drive. It's nice to look at. It's nice to smell. It's nice sounding. It's got a nice low grunty sound when you rev it really high. It sounds amazing. Amazing. This one has the optional sport exhaust, which opens up the pipes at the back, so it sounds louder than a normal one. Those turbo cars these days, they have nice low end, get up and go, but the sound of these ones is just unbelievable. It's a great waste of time, if you will. There's certain roads that are good, nice long sweeping corners, nothing too bumpy, elevation changes and so on. So there's one road in Washington, the Chuckanut Drive, which is along the coast. That's really fun. Lots of twisties. Oregon coast was great. Sea to Sky is great. All those kinds of nice, flat, windy roads.
To Chamberlain and many others, cars are more than just vehicles. They're a way to connect with others and the center of unlikely friendship.
I really like the community, actually. It's a great group of people, and everybody comes in with their own personal experiences about cars, and you can get into all sorts of fun conversations about this, that, and the other.
Izzy Morgan, BCIT's The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good morning, I'm Jacqueline Sung and here are your news headlines at 12:30. The Vancouver City Council has voted in opposition of another overdose prevention site in downtown Vancouver. Our reporter Tatiana Rowe has the story.
It is no secret that Vancouver is in the midst of an overdose crisis. Vancouver Coastal Health proposed another overdose prevention site in the downtown area. Mayor Ken Sim and his city council have voted to fight the opening of the site, saying the two sites that are already in the neighborhood have failed. He said it would be a waste of resources and we have been down this road before. More from a city council voice later today. Tatiana Rowe, BCIT News.
Vancouverites might be receiving food delivery from robots in some neighborhoods this fall, after the Vancouver City Council approved a 6-month pilot program for delivery robots. Reporter Blake Granham has the latest on the program.
The robot takeover has begun. Vancouver councillors have approved the 6-month pilot program for Serve Robotics delivery robots. Already implemented in cities like Los Angeles, these delivery robots are meant to fill in for delivery drivers in dense urban areas, where traffic and parking may cause for delays. The delivery robots are another innovation with the goal of reducing emissions and making deliveries more affordable. Blake Grantham, BCIT News.
Former Alberta Premier Jason Kenney says he will not be intimidated after separatists shared his personal information online. He made the latest comments after learning this week that separatists are circulating his personal information from a major voter data breach involving 3 million Albertans. Kenney says he has taken security measures, but has no intention of toning down his criticism of Alberta's separation. The website has been shut down and is being investigated for a privacy breach. The federal government says 3 Canadians connected to a cruise ship hit by the deadly hantavirus outbreak are self-isolating at home in Ontario and Quebec. 2 Canadians disembarked the ship on the remote South Atlantic island of St. Helena almost 2 weeks ago, and were on the same flight as a 3rd Canadian who was not on the cruise ship. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says a team is working across departments and will be following public health protocols.
I've been in touch with my counterparts in the Netherlands, in the UK, and in Spain this morning so that we are staying coordinated on the protocols to be followed from a public health standpoint, and we will offer support to each other's citizens should that be required.
Anand says the 3rd Canadian may have come into contact with a symptomatic individual and is being monitored by local authorities. UN Ambassador Mike Waltz says Security Council members must support a resolution condemning Iran's action around the Strait of Hormuz.
We like to talk a lot about international law here at the UN. Well, Iran's indiscriminate mining and tolling efforts in the Strait of Hormuz are textbook violations of international law.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met Pope Leo at the Vatican Thursday morning. The Vatican says they discussed the need to work tirelessly in favor of peace. The fence-mending visit aimed to ease tensions following U.S. President Donald Trump's criticism of Pope Leo over the U.S.-Israeli war. U.S. State Department spokesperson Tommy Picard said that Rubio and Leo also discussed the situation in the Middle East and topics of mutual interest in the Western Hemisphere during the 2.5-hour visit. The creator behind the Oscar-winning animated film K-pop Demon Hunters, Maggie Kang, now holds a key to the city of Toronto, where he grew up. She was surprised at stage at the Departure Festival today by Mayor Olivia Chow. Since its release, the movie became Netflix's most-watched film of all time with a record-breaking soundtrack. The show is expecting a sequel. And in weather, we should see brighter skies this afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds later today. I am Jacqueline Tung, and that was your news at 12:30.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good afternoon. I'm Nevin Yakel, and here are your sports stories and headlines for 1240. In soccer, in the latest Whitecaps news, a local BC group has approached the provincial government about wanting to buy the Whitecaps. The BC group is thinking about putting in a bid for the team, trying to keep them in Vancouver after a business group from the U.S. placed their bid last week with the goal of moving the Whitecaps to Las Vegas. BC Jobs Minister Ravi Kahlon said that the group is not looking for provincial help and added it's a positive development for Whitecaps fans and, of course, for the province. With the FIFA World Cup approaching next month, there have been concerns regarding transportation. However, the city's years of preparation and planning have ensured that everything will flow smoothly. Reporter Robbie Parker has more details on Vancouver's transit plan.
The city of Vancouver is embracing the chaos as the FIFA World Cup starts next month. A department that doesn't get enough credit is the group of people ensuring transportation and mobility around BC Place and the Fan Fest runs smoothly. Whether it's the spectator last mile, on-site parking, or zones for the dedicated ride-hailing services, plans are finalized and ready to go, not just on game day, but throughout the month the World Cup takes place. Robbie Parker, BCIT News.
In local hockey, Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks has been named to Team USA's preliminary roster for the 2026 IIHF World Championship. This will be the Michigan native's first time representing his country in the event. The 25-year-old forward played 66 games for the Canucks this season, scoring 13 goals with 6 assists. The Norris nominees have been announced for the best defenseman in the NHL: Rasmus Dahlin of the Buffalo Sabres, Cale Makar from the Colorado Avalanche, and Blue Jacket Zach Werenski. Dahlin and Makar were major contributors to their team's success this season, both scoring over 70 points and are now playing in round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Despite Columbus falling short of the playoffs, Werenski played outstanding with 81 points, leading his team in scoring. One of the most famous feats in horse racing will not occur this year. As Dave Packer reports, there will be no Triple Crown winner in 2026.
Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo will not run in the Preakness Stakes next weekend, instead focusing on the Belmont. It's the third Derby winner in the past 5 years not to be entered in the Preakness. The 2-week turnaround from the Derby to the Preakness, which used to be commonplace, is considered a non-starter for many trainers and owners, given that most elite thoroughbreds now typically go a month or more between races. It has Maryland racing officials considering moving the Preakness back from the third Saturday in May to the 4th. Dave Packer, ABC News.
In the UFC, the middleweight title bout will be on Saturday, as UAE's Kazmat Chimaev will take on the United States' Sean Strickland. Strickland will go in with the odds of plus 425. The highly anticipated matchup will have its pre-fight press conference at 5 o'clock tonight. Following some insults from Strickland, many fans are eager to see if there will be any retaliation from Chimaev. In baseball, Detroit Tigers pitcher Framber Valdez has been suspended for 5 games after throwing at a batter. Reporter Gethin Coolbaugh reports.
Detroit Tigers pitcher Framber Valdez was suspended for 5 games and fined 1 day after he was ejected for hitting Boston's Trevor Story with a pitch during a 10-2 loss in which he allowed a career-high 10 runs. Valdez was at first banned for 6 games by MLB, which cited him for intentionally throwing a pitch at Story, but the penalty was reduced in an agreement between MLB and the Players Association. He started serving the penalty during Wednesday night's series finale, and barring rainouts, will be eligible to pitch next Wednesday at the New York Mets. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Boston and Tampa Bay will play today. The Red Sox are looking to crawl out of the AL East basement and can get a head start with a win today against their divisional opponent, the Rays. Some live scores in the MLB: the Yankees are leading the Rangers 9-2 in the top of the 9th. The Nationals are leading the Twins 7-5 in the top of the 8th. The Guardians are leading their divisional Royals 4-1 in the top of the 6th. Cubs are leading the Reds 8-0 top of the 5th, and the Mets are leading the Rockies 2-0 in the top of the 3rd. For some sports weather, it's going to be a very hot weekend, so remember to stay hydrated when you're out there with lots of water. Those are all your sports news and headlines for now. I'm Nevin Yakel, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Welcome back to BCIT The Crow. I'm Adam Wang, and here are your latest sports news at 12:50. After leaving Game 2 in the fourth quarter of Knicks vs. Sixers, former Raptors OG Anunoby is reportedly suffering from a hamstring injury per CBS Sports. With 3 minutes left in the fourth, Anunoby was seen grabbing his right leg, although he stayed on the court for a few minutes after that. He eventually exited the game early. This is a fatal blow to the Knicks, as Anunoby is considered one of Knicks' primary defender, and as well as many consider him to be one of the few players in the league that can guard multiple positions. The former Raptors champion was on a career high in points as he averaged 21 points in the first round. He is now on the injury report listed as day-to-day. The Oklahoma City Thunder is looking to capitalize home court advantage as they look forward to secure Game 2. The Thunders have been taking care of business so far in the postseason as they are currently undefeated 5-0 in the playoff. OKC is looking to keep their dominance performance steady. Per Yahoo Sports, they are the favorite to win Game 2 by double digit, with their advantage in rebound, efficiency, and team depth. The Buffalo Sabres picked up a win at home last night with a score of 4-2 to open their second round of NHL playoff against the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal was coming off a hard-fought 7-game series against the Tampa Bay Lightnings. Montreal Canadiens captain Nick Suzuki expressed they had a tough start after seeing his team down 2-0 just within 14 minutes.
Just shot ourselves in the foot there. We were down 2-0 and, just trying to claw our way back and thought we played a good game, pretty good game after that.
With UFC 328 happening this Saturday, the highly anticipated press conference will happen today at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. The anticipation for this press conference has been one of the highest anticipation for a press conference in recent years, as the 4 fighters in the headline all have bad blood against each other per the score. The headline of middleweight champion Hamza Chimaev and Sean Strickland has been battling back and forth on social media for the past months, including Sean Strickland bringing up Hamza's Muslim religion and his affiliation with the Chechnyan dictator. With the growing popularity of ultra-marathon race across the world, the multi-day race tests humans' endurance as well as raise concerns about the health risk. A race in Arizona is underway this week, with the winner already crossing the finish line, but another participant faced a medical emergency. ABC's Michelle Franzen has more on the story.
Tragedy and triumph on the trails of the Cocodona 250 race in Arizona. Ultra-marathoner Rachel Entrekin, the overall winner for both women and men, set a new course record Wednesday, finishing the 250-mile race in 56 hours, 9 minutes, and 28 seconds. The Cocodona 250 is known as one of the toughest U.S. ultramarathons. Runners pass through the red rocks of Sedona and trek more than a mile in elevation. Organizers also confirmed a woman participant died, collapsing while running that race due to a medical emergency. No other details were disclosed. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The New York Yankees are beating the Texas Rangers 9-2 on top of the 9th inning. With a win, they will improve their record to 26-12. Goldschmidt has had 2 runs, and the reigning MVP Aaron Judge has had a 1-run bat in. With this win, the Yankees has tied the Braves as they have the best record currently in the league. Yankees are hoping to turn up the momentum and aim to bring back gold to New York. There will be no Triple Crown this year for the horse racing, as Golden Tempo will not run. ABC's Dave Packers report.
Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo will not run in the Preakness Stakes next weekend, instead focusing on the Belmont. It's the 3rd Derby winner in the past 5 years not to be entered in the Preakness. The 2-week turnaround from the Derby to the Preakness, which used to be commonplace, is considered a non-starter for many trainers and owners, given that most elite thoroughbreds now typically go a month or more between races. It has Maryland racing officials considering moving the Preakness back from the 3rd Saturday in May to the 4th. Dave Packer, ABC News.
And that is all for sports news at 12:50. I'm Adam Wang, and this is BCIT The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikikane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikikane.